Hello everybody, this is Rocket, and today we are going to be building a castle. For no particular reason, I just want to build a castle. I've chosen this spot because it's a large flat area of grass, and I do have large biomes on to ensure I get a large expanse of land without having to flatten anything out. And it's also next to a small woodland, so that will look good. So we can do something interesting with that. We're going to start off with Axiom doing, well, the landscaping. I'm probably going to end up removing this river because I think I want my castle to go around here. So this time lapse is pretty much just of me getting rid of the river. There's nothing much more to it apart from getting rid of the river, but that's more complicated than you would first expect. You've got to get rid of the river itself, and then make the landscape look natural, then get rid of all the random sand that there is, and then get rid of the weird colour of grass that appears in the river. Now that the area is cleared out and prepared for building, I think it's time to start with some more specific terraforming to do with like how the build is, if that makes any form of sense. I hope that made some form of sense, but if it didn't, here's a time lapse which will probably only confuse you further, but all will make sense when you see the finished castle. The landscaping is done and it's looking fairly okay. Now all we needed to do is build the actual castle itself, and I started with this tall tower which is going to be the sort of centrepiece of the castle. Even though it is not actually in the centre, it's off to the side when the rest of the castle is in place. Then I perfected the hill a little bit because I didn't like it, and got to building the rest of the castle. It has two smaller towers and walls, like any castle. Now I've got to talk about walls for the rest of this time. The walls have holes in, which makes them look old, and they also have stuff at the bottom which also makes them look old. Then I built steps down the castle so you can actually get to it, and in this section for some reason I turned shaders on, and we are just building a palisade around the entire village at the base of the castle. A little drawbridge as well at the entrance. Then I built a path through the middle of the village and a well in the centre, then planned out loads of other buildings around, a barn, some workshops, and plenty of other buildings, and I turned shaders off for now. There are some small huts at the back as well, with a small market, I don't know why, and then there's the main hall, which is the big tall building, and then I started the roofs with the little cottages, which have thatched roofs, which were surprisingly difficult to build, and then I built walls for all the buildings, and roofs for all the buildings. Some of them have thatched roofs, some of them have wooden roofs, which for some reason I felt like mud would work, and it kind of does work. Then added texture to the roofs and built some other roofs. There's a lot of roof in this village. Another thatched roof for the barn. The thatched roofs are made by using some bamboo and bamboo trapdoors to texture them, and I think that works quite nicely. I added a horse in the field, and I think I added a few other horses, but I think they might have got cut off the time lapse. Anyway, built a blacksmith, some fabric merchants there, which the time lapse corrupted a little bit, and then we have an armour person who makes armour, and here is the final result.